Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have a whole bunch of callers on hold, so it'll be fun to see what their questions are, and even more fun to see what Spirit has to say about their questions in the form of an answer. And in the meantime, this is the first Thursday in May, and you know what that means. We have a winner of a free session. And the free session winner is, I got to put my glasses on so I can read this. Her name, she says, she calls herself Deb from Cali. Deb from Cali, you have won a free 1-hour session with me valued at $200. So here's what Deb had to say. She said, "Hi, Julie. I came across your podcast from Facebook on accident." Well, not really. As you say, nothing is by accident. LOL. That's true. There are no coincidences in life. I've been listening to you for about 6 months. Your voice is so calming, and I love your analogies. I'm glad, because sometimes they're so crazy they crack me up, and I'm sometimes embarrassed to tell you what I'm getting, but I do it anyways. She went on to say, your show has made me laugh and sometimes tear up with the callers. You've helped so many people, and I feel as if you've brought more joy and peace to my life, knowing where my loved ones are and that they're happy. Keep doing such a fabulous job of helping and healing people from all over the world. All right, Miss Deb, email me, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com, and we will figure out a date and time that works with your schedule, and you'll be able to talk to me about whatever you want. You know, I am a buffet of psychicness, and that just means that I can scan you from a medical standpoint. We can do energetic healings. We can scan or talk to a pet. We can talk to a deceased loved one. We can talk to your spirit guides, your angels. We can do past life stuff. We can, what else? I can tell how close to death somebody is. We can get advice from spirit. So we make a lot of use out of that hour that we have together, and I'm delighted to help. The reason why I do this is because I know $200 is a lot of money for a lot of people, and you can be entered into the drawing. All you have to do is leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. That's ratethispodcast.com/Julie, and I pick a winner the first of every month, the first Thursday of every month. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Let's go to the phones, and our first caller, I believe, is Sybil. I'm going to say, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. Sybil, is it Sybil or Sybil, or how do you pronounce it?
It's Sybil. It's Sybil. Hi, Julie.
Hi, girl. Sybil, that sounds so fancy.
Hi.
You sound like a character from Beauty and the Beast or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm excited and nervous. I wasn't expecting to be on.
Nervous? Oh, please. It's just me. It's always so fun. It's so much fun.
I know.
Yeah, to do this show.
Yeah,
all right, so tell everybody where you're located.
Yeah, sure.
Where are you located?
Currently I'm out of country, and I'm in Istanbul right now. So
oh my gosh,
it's middle of the night here. But
what are you doing down there? What are you doing in Istanbul?
Well, it's a long story, but I've been living here for a while. And, I was working for a while, and now since the quarantine, and all that stuff, I'm here. I've been living here for a while.
Do you enjoy it?
Working, and I do. It's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful, beautiful city. Just so much history, and
that's what I hear.
And very nice, good people.
That's what I hear. It sounds very exotic to those of us in America.
Very spiritual land, very...
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I know. Well, that whole part of the world is so ancient, the spirituality in all of those areas.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah, I can feel it, yeah.
Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, I'm taking care of my mom. I brought her over right before the quarantine, and I've been in care. She's 89 years old, and I have to say she's been through a lot, but she's doing fairly well. Everything is in check, but she's extremely, in general, for a very long time now, very lethargic and tired, and there are some issues like BP and diabetes that are under control. And she had a liver cyst and drained and was hospitalized for 4 months in the past, 7 years ago. And she's doing actually really well for her age on one hand, but then on the other hand, I just feel like there's just something we're not figuring out. And I was wondering if you could maybe scan her and see what's happening and what I can do for her, or which direction I can go in this. Because I'm just getting very tired of trying to figure everything out. I'm very detailed in my care. So
I bet. What's your mom's name, Sibel? What's your mom's name?
We have all the weird names today for you. It's Shafiga. Shaf. You can say Shaf for short.
Shaf. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you, and then I'm going to go from you to your mom, and I'm going to ask her permission to scan her. If she says yes, I will. If she says no, I won't. All is not lost because we can talk to her spirit. I do that all the time. But I don't scan somebody, Sibel, if I don't have their permission, because I just don't think it's right. I think it's an invasion of their privacy. And so what I'm going to do for those of you who are first-time listeners is I'm going to raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit. I learned how to do all of this stuff. And I'm going to close my eyes and I'll watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to hook into Sibel in Istanbul, and then from Sibel to her mom. I'm going to ask her mom telepathically if I can scan her. And then what will happen is I'll envision shooting energy from her feet up through the top of her head. Something will be identified, Sibel, if need be, and then immediately thereafter there will be some type of energetic healing that will begin. And my analogies, I talk in analogies a lot because it gives our human minds a frame of reference for this woo-woo stuff that we're talking about, number one. And number two, if you can envision it, it's going to help integrate the healing into your body. Or in this case, you're going to be my assistant and you're going to help with the healing on your mom. So that's why I want you to at least envision or get a sense of what I'm seeing, because it helps give our human minds a frame of reference. And the body's always going to follow what the brain is telling it, even if the brain doesn't believe it to be true. An example I like to use is think of a time when you watched a scary movie on TV. Your brain knew it was pretend, but your heart might have felt like it was getting ready to jump out of your chest at any moment. So I think that's a great example of the body following what the brain's showing it. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading over to you in Turkey. And it's going to take a second. Okay, I got you. Got your mom. I'm talking to Sibel. Is it okay if I scan you energetically? She's saying no. Did you talk to her about this by any chance, Sibel?
Surprised.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot today because she's extremely open. I mean, she's very open to everything like this.
Okay.
So I'm surprised.
Well, let's just talk to her spirit. Sometimes they'll let me in when we talk to their spirit because they get a little more relaxed that way. So what questions do you have for her? Her spirit's in her body. She's not dying at the moment. For those of you, again, that are first-time callers or listeners, the spirit exits through the top of the head. When somebody's dying, their spirit's attached to the top of the head. It looks like a bubble in a cartoon caption. She's very much in her body, Sibel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I was wondering about that, yeah.
Yeah, she's not dying at the moment. Now, that might be different tomorrow or next week, but right now she's not.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you have a question about her health? Why is she so tired?
Yeah, is there anything we can do about, or what is, you know, what can we do, or which area is really causing this extreme lethargic and sort of tiredness and the imbalance, I guess, if you want to call it an imbalance.
two things came up. Number one, it's she's winding down in her life, and as we're preparing to leave, it can be for a couple of years even before we depart, we do start to slow down. We sleep more, we eat less, we're less interactive. So I get that, number one. The other thing is her diet. What is she eating? I'm getting limit refined carbs. What does she like to eat?
Well, since she's been in my care, I've been doing, I've changed my way of eating, and I'm applying the same thing. Recently, in the last month, it's kind of slipped, but overall, I'm no gluten, no dairy, no refined sugars.
Right.
We're kind of on that. We have
Right.
been on that
Good.
path for a while. But like I said,
Good.
the last month has been out of whack on that a little bit. But
yeah. Well, I'm getting diet, and she is winding down. So thanks for calling in. Enjoy the time you have with her. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go to the phones, and our next caller is Adele. Hi, Adele.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Where are you located? Where are you located?
I'm in Honolulu. Hawaii.
Poor
But
baby.
the weather is not like what you think. It's been It's been pretty cloudy, windy. All my tiny avocados is falling off the tree.
Oh no. I'm sorry. Well, I bet it gets nice soon though. It won't stay bad for long there.
I hope not.
Well, good. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, I do, Julie. I've been having hearing loss issues. I've been to an ear, nose, and throat doctor. They did examine my ears, and they did an MRI to make sure that I had no blood vessel blockage, any of the vessels feeding the eardrums or anything, and everything was negative.
Mm-hmm.
But, I do notice that during the morning, when I wake up, I can hear so much better than when it gets towards the end of the day. So it's something that fluctuates. I'm just wondering if you can scan and see what's going on there.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So let me get you on my radar, and we'll see what's going on. So here comes my laser beam, like I say, from Sweet Home, Alabama. My God, I was in Turkey on the last caller. Now I'm going the opposite direction, heading far west on the next one with you, Adele.
You're traveling far.
I guess. I know. From the comfort of my own home, right? All right, got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. I'm seeing a lot of inflammation in your eustachian tubes. Do your ears feel like they need to pop?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's what I'm getting. Left ear looks worse than the right, Adele. And what I'm doing is I'm basically cleaning out the eustachian tube. I'm for those of you in America, roto-rootering. I'm roto-rootering. For those of you that are outside of America, that's just an American term to clean out a drain. So imagine there's a little tiny corkscrew, Adele, that's inside the eustachian tube in your left ear, and it's turning really fast, and it's morcellating whatever's in there. You just got some debris in there, some dead cells and stuff like that. And then I'm irrigating it, and then I'm going over to the right side and doing the same thing. Of course, when I say I, it's spirit working through me and with me. And so I'm doing that. What I'm getting is that you're being exposed to something that's causing inflammation in your ears, perhaps your nose or your throat. Are you feeling like you're congested?
This morning I did, but not normally.
Okay. All right. I get it's congestion. And in the short run, if it's really bad, what you may want to do is try an antihistamine just for a day, just to see what's going on with that. But it may be, have you had a lot of rain, more so than normal? I know it's a wet climate, but tropical, but have you had more rain than normal?
Yes, we have been having more rain.
Okay, so that's most likely releasing mold spores into the air, and you're having a reaction to it. So the easiest way to control inflammation in the body, anywhere in the body, Adele, is with diet. If you can stay low on the food chain, it's going to help a lot, because sugar and refined foods are going to be your number one inflammation-causing item that you can eat, anything that's refined. A piece of bread is going to absorb 10 times faster than a teaspoon of sugar. So stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. And that's going to help a lot. I think you're inflamed anyways, and then these extra irritants are just kind of making your inflammation bucket overflow. So hopefully this will help you feel better and help you hear better by just unplugging your ears for you.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so the key is staying on the lower food chain. Okay.
Yeah, stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. I do that. And if you're eating something that is refined, like the other night I was in a Mexican restaurant and I wanted chips. So I was eating tortilla chips, but I was eating them with guac. I was putting a bunch of guacamole on them to slow down the sugar burst, from eating the tortilla chips. Mm-hmm. So be sure you're eating it with fat and protein. If you can stay off of the refined stuff, you're going to be really feeling a lot better. And most inflammation comes from the gut.
Okay, great.
So, yeah, it's not your DNA, it's your dinner. I love that saying. Okay. Your ears look fine.
Okay,
I agree with the doctors.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for calling.
Okay, that's great.
Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Let's go to Kim next. Hi, Miss Kim.
Hi, Julie.
How are you, girl?
I am good. I'm so happy to be talking to you.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to be talking to you. Where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Okay. Terrific. What part?
I'm actually in West LA. I'm near Beverly Hills. I work in Beverly Hills, and I live in the Pico Robertson area.
Yeah. Wonderful. I know right where that is. Terrific. Okay. You got a question for me?
Oh, good. I do. I've had an intense job for the last 16 years, and the last 8 years 8 years ago, I developed when I was taking on even more stress with this. I work for a celebrity. My mouth started burning. I developed burning mouth syndrome with gastritis and severe acid reflux. So that's been severe to very limited diet, lost a lot of weight. And then most recently, I've had some vertigo and my heart has started doing either PVCs or palpitations or something. So I'm trying to now get to the bottom of all this.
Okay. Kim, I'm going to hold you over for the break. And when we come back, we'll see what's going on with Kim. Everybody, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show, so stay with us, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, we were talking with Kim in Los Angeles. Kim, you still with us?
I'm still with you.
Okay, good. I scanned you during the break, Kim, and I saw two things. First of all, how young are you?
I'm 55.
Okay, are you on hormones?
I'm not.
Okay. Bioidentical hormones, I think, can help a lot. I shot some energetic estrogen into you, and you're perked right up. When I see a woman that needs estrogen, she looks like a wilting plant to me. And then I shoot energetic estrogen in her, and then you just perk right up, like a sunflower that's drooping because it hasn't been watered, and then you water it, and it raises its head to the sky. The biggest issue, however, is you have what's called leaky gut, from what I'm seeing, and that's what's causing the heartburn and and all of that. Have you been taking antacids, Kim?
I take omeprazole and then I take Gaviscon in addition to that.
I don't know what either of those do.
Like
what are
Tums,
they?
But you can take it.
It's like a Tums. Okay.
Omeprazole just helps you with acid reflux, and Gaviscon's like a Tums, but you can't take Tums with the other medication, so it's the same thing.
The thing about those kinds of antacid meds is that they make the stomach acid too low and the body has trouble digesting food. And so there's a doctor in Santa Monica that I send clients to that are in the LA area. Do you have a pen? I'll give you his name. You can tell him I sent you.
Yeah.
His name's Apostolos. Mm-hmm. Sounds like a Greek god. It's Apostolos Lekkos, Lekkos. Apostolos Lekkos. He's in the Santa Monica area, so he's in West LA. Go see him. He will help you get your gut healthy. In the meantime, what I did was I removed the yeast out of your system. Leaky gut, there are these little separations that form in the intestinal wall. And it looks like somebody took a box cutter and made a little slit in your intestinal wall. And so I stitched those up with a suture or two, an energetic suture or two, each one of those little openings, and remove the yeast out of your system. So a few things that you can do in the short run that will help. What I was mentioning before, stay low on the food chain. If God made it, eat it. If man made it in a factory, do your best to avoid it. I try and live by that. Do I do it 100% of the time? Not even close. If you can do it 85% of the time, you're going to be in so much better shape. That's number one. So stay away from anything that's refined, because leaky gut is yeast overgrowth, and yeast loves sugar, loves anything that's processed because it absorbs like sugar. So stay low on the food chain. Stay away from fermented foods, Kim, wine, beer, alcohol, kimchi, sauerkraut, yogurt, vinegar, pickles, soy sauce. Stay away from that. Not for life, just in the short run, because our gut is a fermentation factory when we have leaky gut. When we add fermented foods or drinks, it's just like pouring jet fuel on the fire. It's going to make it worse. Stay away from juices.
Yeah.
Juices have tons of yeast. If you're going to eat fruit, peel it, freeze and reheat leftovers, and then get on some nystatin. Nystatin. Nystatin is an antifungal, and it's a prescription here in America. It stays in your GI tract. It kills yeast on contact. It's what they give babies when they have thrush. That will help tremendously. So get your doctor to prescribe nystatin tablets for you. Okay. So that will help. The good news is it doesn't cause any permanent damage.
Yes.
It doesn't cause any permanent damage, Kim, and it's fixable. You can heal it, and you can heal it with food and nystatin. What were you saying?
Great. That's great. You didn't see anything with the heart. The little heart fibrillations or PVCs seem like I'm hoping that's not an issue. I'm starting to panic on that end.
It's hormones. You need estrogen.
Okay.
You're either in menopause if it's been a year since you've had a period, or you're in the late stages of perimenopause, and that's very, very common when a woman needs estrogen. So Lekkos can help you with that too, with the bioidentical hormones. Bioidentical hormones, Kim, are the exact molecular composition of what our bodies make when we're young and fertile and popping out babies. And the synthetic hormones have extra molecules added to their formulas so they can be patented. You want to stay away from those. You want to do the bioidentical. And also, another really good way to find a doctor for the hormones is to call a compounding pharmacy and just ask them who's prescribing through them. My doctor used to be in Santa Monica, and I used the compounding pharmacy of Beverly Hills on Pico. So call there. Ask for Elise. She's a pharmacist. Ask for Elise. Tell her I sent you, and tell her you're looking for a doctor in the area, and she'll help you. Okay?
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Take care. Thanks for calling. Hope you feel better. Let's go to Becky next. Hi, Becky.
Hi, Julie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. Where are you located?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I am actually in the Memphis, Tennessee area.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Great. The Peabody Hotel with the ducks. Are the ducks still walking?
I believe they are. Sadly, I have not made it there yet.
Oh, you got to go. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, the Peabody Hotel in Memphis is this historic hotel. And every night, I don't know, around dinner time, they have this parade of little baby ducklings that walk on this red carpet and get into the fountain in the main lobby and swim around. It's darling. They make a big production out of it. You'll love it if you get the opportunity to go.
Thanks. So I actually have a call scheduled with you in June, so I'm looking forward to that.
Good.
In the meantime, I had kind of an acute situation happen this week. My low back went out. And I've had this happen before. But right now, I'm like a lot of my practitioners are booked solid or not in town. And I'm just not progressing as fast as I normally would. So I've basically been on my back since Monday night.
Oh,
I can get up a little bit here and there, but I can't even sit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I'm doing, Becky, is I'm giving you a chiropractic adjustment energetically, and doing the whole adjustment. Do you have a chiropractor that you normally go to?
I do. Unfortunately, he moved to Florida, but he comes back once a month.
Okay, find another one in the interim.
Like a week ago.
Find another one in the interim till he comes back.
Okay.
That's stupid for you. That's crazy for you to be in that much pain. If you get an adjustment or two, it's going to take care of it. You're just a twisted sister. So chiropractic is going to help you a lot with that. And don't wait. Just go ahead. Do you live alone? Do you have a partner or a husband or a roommate that can help find somebody?
I have a husband and 4 kids that we homeschool. So it's been quite the feat to manage the last few days here.
I bet. Well, I bet a lot of them know how to use a phone and know how to use the computer. So have them do a Google search on chiropractor, put in your zip code, and chiropractors in your area are going to populate, and then go see one of them, the one that you can see the soonest.
Okay. Are you able to see, because this has happened more than once, and I can't figure out why, what's going on with my body that's causing this to happen?
You need to get adjustments more often. Just go get a tune-up. I go once a month just to keep everything lined up so it doesn't happen. And you're just waiting too long in between chiropractic visits. They just go find a chiropractor that you can go to at least once a month once you're out of pain, and they'll keep you lined up, and it'll prevent this from happening.
Right.
Yeah. Simple solution.
I see my chiropractor once a month. So
good. Good. Well, you may need to go more often if you're having this happen frequently. But it's just because you get out of alignment. And when I have you for an hour, we can do a deep dive and find out what you're doing that's causing it. But in the short run, find a chiropractor, and you've been adjusted energetically. So I hope you feel better. How old are your kids?
Awesome. My youngest will be 3 soon, and then I was 6.5, 9.5, and almost 13-year-old.
Okay, so the 13-year-old, the 9.5-year-old, and your husband can help you with this. They all know how to use the phone, and they know how to use the computer, right?
Right.
Yeah, and your 3-year-old probably knows how to use a computer too. At this point, I think they come out knowing how to use an iPad. and the phone, don't they?
Practically, yes.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yep,
amazing. They maneuver that stuff better than I do. Oh, I have a friend whose granddaughter couldn't talk yet. She was barely walking, and she wasn't talking in sentences, but boy, she knew how to navigate that iPad and that iPhone. It was hilarious. So, Becky, I hope you feel better. Thanks for calling. All right, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get some more callers on and see what they have to say. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, so stay with us. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Our next caller's Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for taking me. I'm calling about my dad.
Oh, where are you? Where are you located?
I'm in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Okay, what's going on with your dad?
Last summer, he ended up in the ER, and they did surgery on him, and part of an intestine removed, and they found colon cancer, and while they were in there, they saw some lesions on his liver. They did a biopsy, benign. He did 6 months of chemo, and then earlier this year, they said, you're cancer-free. And then recently, they did a bunch of scans, including a PET scan, and they said, you have stage 4 liver cancer,
wow.
which is shocking. So I don't know if you can do a scan or a healing. What can I do? What can the doctors do? They have their recommendation, which I'm wary of, and what can we do for him?
Okay, what's his name, Chris, and where is he?
He's Richard, and he's also in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Okay. He lives in his own home.
I live with him and my mother.
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to connect into you, and then I'm going to connect into your dad. All right. Got you. Got your dad. All right. Yeah. Let's see what we can do. Let's do first, what I'm going to do is a DNA healing on him, Chris. Imagine DNA is you don't have to imagine this. This is true. DNA is the recipe that tells the cells how to behave. And when I see strands of DNA, they look like pieces of paper you see inside a fortune cookie with the fortune written on them. They come in strips. DNA is comprised of 4 nucleic acids. A as in apple, T as in Tom, C as in cat, G as in green, ATCG. And a strand of DNA, Kim, can have 100,000 letters on it, can have 1 billion letters. I'm watching those letters get rearranged as if I'm playing Scrabble in warp speed. And what that's doing is that's returning the recipe, telling the cells how to behave back to a normal recipe for your dad. He has 8 strands that have come out, and I'm watching them get resequenced. When they get resequenced, they snap back into an X chromosome. You know, girls have 2 X's, boys have an X and a Y. So I always see an X come out. And this is an analogy for what's happening from an energetic healing here on his DNA. I would love to do a deep dive with him. He's letting me scan him, which is great. I asked him if it was okay, and he said yes. So I don't know if you set that up ahead of time or not, but good job if you did. And so I'm watching the DNA healing. What I'm also doing is I'm removing the cancer out of his liver. So imagine his liver is Jell-O, and we're cutting out scoops of where the cancer is. He's got it. He's got a good case of it. What are they suggesting? Chemo for him again?
But they were calling it palliative, according to him, so that it was just delaying death. And then I seemed to think that he seemed to think that they were going to try, if that didn't work, ablation surgery. It's a bit of a muddle because they both can't hear well, and I'm like getting it, down the line, unfortunately. So some of the information from them is a little garbled.
I'm sorry. Okay, his spirit's in his body. He's not dying at the moment. There's a book, Kim, Chris, that I want you to get, and it's called Radical Remission. Radical Remission. You can get it in audiobook or in paperback or digital. And it's about research that was done by a gal. I'm not remembering her name, but you'll find it if you just Google the book or you go on Amazon or one of the booksellers and look for it. And what she found was that there's a majority of patients who were sent home to die, of the ones that she studied, found different common denominators. I believe there are 13 or 14 of them that all of them did. And they all were told, this is palliative, call in hospice, get your affairs in order. And most of them are up walking around 10 years later. I don't know what else your dad has going on. I don't know what his age is, but I think that's a book that can help you with this. If it makes sense to call in for palliative care, those people are wonderful. And it doesn't mean that he's giving up.
I'm sorry, you clicked out. What did you say?
I said if it makes sense to bring in palliative care for him, it's worth talking to them anyways.
Well, he's like up and about,
Yeah, that's good.
It's incongruous because he's 88. He looks relatively well, a little tired, but but then at the same time, we're having end-of-life conversations, so it's bizarre.
Yeah, I understand. But it's still good to be prepared, to have a game plan. You don't have to bring them in right away, but certainly when you need them, it's going to make sense to bring them in.
Are there any vitamins that you can sense that would be good for him?
C. Lots of C. Ester C, so it's gentle on his stomach. Combine it with zinc. Don't go over too...
Zinc.
How much you giving him?
Okay. 1,000 once in the morning and 1,000 at night. Ester C.
Good. With 50 of zinc. Add the zinc to it.
I don't... Each time with each pill?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I would up it, Chris, to 3 times a day, 1,000 of buffered C plus 50 of zinc. Zinc is really the key. Zinc is the superpower booster of C. And C is miraculous. C cured polio back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the zinc is a total per day of perhaps 150 milligrams. So 50
don't go over 250 of zinc. But you want to do 50 with the C. If he gets the runs, back off on the C because it can cause the runs. But as far as, from an immune support, C and zinc is the best thing to do.
How is quercetin and spirulina for this situation?
Quercetin, yes. Spirulina, I'm getting a no on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully that will help.
All right. Thank you so much.
And get a copy of that book. It'll give you some pointers, and talk to the end of life people too, and just get your plan lined up for when you need it. Okay. Thanks, Chris. Good luck to you and to him. You bet. Bye-bye.
All right.
All righty, everybody. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on. So stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. We do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 667-770-1476, and the access code is 483620#. Now, you can find this all over the place. This information, we make it readily available to make it easy for you to call in and join us. It's available on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes anywhere you download podcasts. We are on all of the major networks, Apple, Spotify, Amazon now. We're on YouTube. We're on all over the place. And Alexa too. So just subscribe, and then you'll get a note that there's a new show, and you can download it, and it'll be in the show notes. We also post every Thursday in all my social media, on all my social media channels, and they're all at Ask Julie Ryan. Everything's at Ask Julie Ryan. So just look online, say, I think I have a question, and I'm going to call in. I wonder if Julie's doing a live show. Most of the time I am. Just a handful of times during the year if I'm out of town, I don't. And then I'll have a fun pre-recorded show for you. And so there's that. Remember to rate the podcast so you can be entered into the drawing anywhere you download it, or you can go to ratethispodcast.com/Julie, and then you'll be entered into a drawing for a free session with me, valued at $200. I always feel like a game show host when I say that. Let's see, what else? While you're on AskJulieRyan.com, sign up for my weekly newsletter. It's a question somebody submitted online, and along with my answer, and those are always fun. And then you can schedule an appointment with me while you're there. And we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want, as many topics as you want, as much as we can cram in an hour. And it's a blast. We have so much fun doing that. And I love getting you for a whole hour and getting to hear about your life and what's going on with you and seeing how Spirit and I can help you with whatever you have happening. And let's see, I'm booked out for a couple of months. The key is get on my schedule and then keep your confirmation email. And there will be a little button that says reschedule on it. Click on that periodically if you want to try and find an earlier appointment, because people reschedule every week, all the time, and you can get in sooner. I talk to people every week and they'll say, oh my gosh, you weren't lying when you told us that on your show. I said, well, yeah. It happens all the time. So consider that. What else? I think that's about it. Training, still working on the online training. The angelic attendant training, my big training, is full for the year. I have 2 people that have signed up for January of next year already. That will fill up in the next couple of months, if not before. So if you're thinking about wanting to learn how to do all this stuff that I do and be part of the angelic attendant training community, please go ahead and sign up for the training, and then we'll save a space for you for next year. Okay, here's the question this week, and it comes from Kim, and Kim lives in Auckland, New Zealand, and she said, hi, Julie. Thank you for being so accessible and generous. Can you tell me if I will get married again, and if so, have I met him yet? I thought that was a fun question. Here's my response. Hi, Kim. Thank you for your kind comments. When I asked Spirit if you'd get married again, I got a big yes. And when I asked Spirit if you had met your future husband, I also got a big yes. The big question is, what are you doing about it? It's really important to take action to manifest our dreams. When you get an idea, act on it, even if it doesn't make sense at the time. For example, if you're invited to do something, go. You never know who you're going to meet there. You never know. You may meet somebody who has a son or a grandson, or a friend that has a son or a grandson, and they want to fix you up. I mean, you just never know. So go. I met my husband and love of my life, Tim, standing behind him in an airport. True story. I was standing behind him in line in the Kansas City airport, and I had this desire to put my arms around him and start hugging on him. And I thought, oh, God, Ryan, you're just tired. Go home and get a nap. Go home and go to bed. And neither one of us lived in Kansas City. And he turned around, and I thought, oh, he's handsome, too. And we sat together on the plane, and we exchanged business cards, and then that's how I got to Alabama a year later. So people ask me, how'd you get to Birmingham? And I say, love. I met him in the airport, and that is a true story. So you just never know when you're going to meet your love of your life, like I did. So be open to how it'll unfold for you and enjoy the adventure. So Kim in New Zealand, keep us posted. Let us know when you finally decide who it is, because it sounds like you've already met him. Fun question. Okay, let's go back to the phones. And our next caller is Cruz. So let's get Cruz on. Hi, Cruz.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you, sir?
Hello?
Hi.
I've been better, thank God, but I'm hopeful. praying. I'm hopeful. Thanks for taking my call.
Where are you located?
I had a question. I'm in New York, New York, in Westchester County, New York.
Okay. Yeah. What's going on? How may I help you?
Yeah, I had a question in regards to my health. I'm 53 years old, and this time last year, I was given an MRI, and it showed a really bad herniated disc at L5-S1, my lower back, lower spine. So I got the surgery to remove the disc, the microdiscectomy, in June, and I re-herniated a couple of weeks later, and I got a second surgery in November of last year.
Oh, jeez.
Ever since then, my life has not been the same, with pain after pain, and pain down my leg, pain in my butt, pain in my lower back, and also on my other leg and my arms. And just now, this past Saturday, I was getting ready to do a follow-up visit with my surgeon, and he sent me for another MRI because I really was complaining about this excruciating pain that started again. And it tells me that I have an infection in my disc and in my vertebrae where the surgery was.
Oh,
and
boy.
I haven't caught a break for going on a year. My job's on the line, but my marriage is on the line, my family, my health. I'm really searching for answers. And every time I think I see something else comes up. Like now, I had started this really good therapy program online, core balance training with this therapist out west. And I seen positive. It was having small increments of progress, but then this happened, and I haven't been able to go back to that one thing that was actually helping me progressively, that was constantly helping me little by little, which was part of the program. It wasn't one big thing. It was going to take time. And that's all I have is time, but I don't have time to really negotiate with my job, and I don't know if this is definitely going to affect my job.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I've got you on my radar already, Cruz, and it looks to me, is the sciatica pain going down your left leg? That's where the energy went when I got you on my radar. Is your left leg bothering you?
My left leg is bothering me as well, but the one that's always been bothering me, where the area that was on my right upper butt, and the surgery was on the right side. But there's also some I'm feeling some pain in they told me it was the lateral cutaneous thigh area, where this nerve seems to be, the sensory nerve is very, very painful and numbness feeling in my left outer thigh.
Okay. All right. Well, the energy went to your...
got better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the energy went to your left leg first. Sometimes it goes to the leg that's doing all the heavy lifting, just because it's reinforcing it. What I've been doing while you've been talking is doing a healing on your low back. What I've done is I've used stem cell energy, spirit working through me and with me, use stem cell energy to redo those discs. And then there's this little netting that gets put between the upper and the lower vertebrae, and it will hold those discs in place. So we're regenerating the discs that were removed. And I've worked on the sciatica on the left leg, and now I'm working on the sciatica on the right leg. You have so much going on. I would recommend that you schedule an appointment with me so we can have a whole hour to work on you, because you got a lot going on. In the meantime, what I did, Cruz, was I put antibiotic energy. Are you on antibiotics now from your doctor?
No, like I said, I spoke to my surgeon today, and I'm seeing the infectious disease doctor tomorrow morning, and they're going to put me on some type of antibiotic, but it's they have to determine what bacteria they're dealing with in order to tell me exactly what to give me.
Yeah. Yeah, because if that gets in the bone, that gets a little dicey. Tell them when you're in their cruise, tell them you want Nystatin, Nystatin. Think of New York and Staten Island. Nystatin. Nystatin. It's an antifungal that will help keep your gut from getting decimated from all the antibiotics they're going to put you on. Consider scheduling an appointment with me, and we'll have a whole hour to work on you to help you get you out of pain and all of that. In the short run, hopefully the healings that I did tonight will help. Oh my gosh, thanks for calling. All right, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on, so stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. And we're back. And our next caller, is it Matruka? Am I saying your name right? Matruka. Matruka. Hi, girl.
Yeah,
how are you?
Go. Hi.
Oh, good. Beautiful.
I'm good. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome. I've been to football games there, but, I was wearing the scarlet and the gray for the Ohio State University. But Ann Arbor is beautiful, and the campus is beautiful, and, yeah, but got to root for that alma mater, the Buckeyes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the question is for my husband, and he's sitting right here. So I have his permission. Obviously, he's a retired professor at U of M. He's 89, and we decided to have an MRI because he was having some symptoms of memory loss and some other personality things that were distressing. So we were figuring it was dementia. About a month ago, we had the first MRI, and he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And they didn't want to do anything just yet because they don't really know what it is. And this Tuesday, he had the second MRI, and the mass has grown like 4.5 times.
Oh, boy.
So anything you can see about that would be so helpful. And
yeah.
I don't know even exactly what the question is because it's very ambiguous.
Yeah. What's his name?
Richard Mann.
Richard. Okay. You said that. I'm sorry. I didn't pick that up last time. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you and then from you to him. All right. Got him. Do I have your permission to scan you? He said, sure. Good job setting that up. All right. What's going on? Okay. I can see it. It kind of looks cauliflower-y. That's what cancer tumors a lot of the time look like. I asked a cancer surgeon one time, I said, what's it look like when you get in there? And he said, it looks like cauliflower. And this is what this tumor looks like to me. So I'm encapsulating it. Are they saying it's malignant? Are they saying it's benign? Can they tell yet?
They don't know. And they said that if they removed it when it was small, I don't know how they would think about it now, but when it was small, they said if they removed it, it wouldn't stop the symptoms of memory loss and the other dementia symptoms. So that's why it's totally confusing.
It doesn't look malignant to me. It's pink. So, but it kind of looks like one of those Osage oranges, those lumpy oranges. Have you ever seen one of those that grow on trees? The trees have these big thorns on them. All right. So I've encapsulated it. I've gotten it out. We're going to put stem cell energy in there to replenish the brain matter. Brain matter looks to me like thick cooked oatmeal, Irish cut oatmeal, that really thick stuff that you can get. I've never been able to make it that thick, but I can get it in restaurants. That's really thick like that. So stem cell energy is coming into the divot where the tumor's been removed. I always encapsulate a tumor, whether it looks malignant or not, just because let's keep the cells going, from going all over the place. So stem cell energy, light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it, reminds me of Dippity-Doo. Are you young enough to remember what Dippity-Doo hair gel was?
I do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And there's a vortex spinning above Richard's head. And that vortex is what transforms the stem cell energy into new body parts, whatever we need. This is the coolest stuff because it'll regenerate anything we need. And sometimes new organs will show up on scans and it really freaks out the doctors. It's hilarious when that happens. So got that. What it's doing is it's pressing on nerves and messing up the neural pathways in his head. So by removing it energetically, those neural pathways light back up. And they look like laser beams that crisscross a museum as part of a security system, guarding the paintings and the artifacts and the statuary and that kind of thing. And you may have seen it in a movie where somebody was trying to steal something and they had to get around the laser beams. So those are lit back up. Let's do a DNA healing on him real fast. 4 strands of DNA have come out. You may have been listening before when I was talking about they look like pieces of paper you see inside a fortune cookie. 4 nucleic acids. What was he a professor of? Was it biology by any chance?
Psychology and religion.
Oh, okay. All right. So he wasn't messing around with too much DNA. Okay. So I'm watching the letters get resequenced, if you will. Once the strand is resequenced, then it snaps back in to the chromosome. So the first one's gone back in. The other ones are going that way. So does he use a cell phone? Does he hold it up to his head? Does he use Bluetooth, AirPod kind of things? Yeah. Yeah. Have him not do that. Yes. Have him keep his cell phone on speaker. Have him use wired earphones and a microphone if he wants to do that. What a lot of research is showing, and you'll never hear this from the phone companies, is that that's causing tumors in the head. And there are companies where you can get these little discs that you can put on the back of the phone, and it reduces the EMFs and the radiation. If you Google that, you'll be able to get some information on that. And then I have these little strips that go on my AirPods, and they wrap around the bottom and they keep the radiation from going into my head. And they've done clinical research on it to show that it lessens it. Does it prevent all of it? Probably not, but makes me feel better thinking like I'm doing something. But there's definitely a correlation. So be sure to tell him to keep his phone either on speaker or to use wired headphones. Is he in pain?
Okay, good.
Does he seem to be in pain?
He's not, and he's in excellent health. No, it's just more psychological distress.
Great. Vitamin C and zinc, what we talked about earlier with our other caller.
I wrote that down.
Yeah, that'll help a lot.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your help. Okay.
You bet. Thanks for calling. Good luck to you. Bye-bye. Time for another break. When we come back, we're going to get some more callers on, and we'll see what they have to say. So stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Our next caller is Gulnoza. Gulnoza, did I say your name right?
Yes, you did. Hi, Julie.
Gulnoza. It's beautiful. Where are you located?
Well, I'm originally from Uzbekistan, but I'm currently in Caldwell, Idaho.
Oh, my. That's a big change. My goodness. Well, welcome to the show. How may I help you?
Thank you. I'm calling for my sister. So about 25 years ago, around an age where she was 20, she was diagnosed by schizophrenia. I'm not sure if I'm saying this word right. And she's been on psychiatric meds since then. She's 46 years old now. And, it's been hard for entire families, especially on my parents, because they basically been taking care of her. They are right now taking care of her son. Mostly, they're responsible for his school and stuff. She's kind of functional. She does work, but because of she's on those meds all the time. She's not I would call it a normal person. Sometimes, if she doesn't get her haloperidol shot on time, she becomes very aggressive. We've seen all different kinds of crazy. So we still are hoping maybe there's like some magical way one day her brain chemistry snaps in the right places and she becomes normal person. Mm-hmm. I was wondering if there's a hope, if there's something we can do for her. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. So she's schizophrenic. Is that what I heard, Golnoza?
Yes, that's what her diagnosis is.
Okay. All right. What's her name, first of all?
Her name is Shahnoza.
Okay, spell that for me.
Okay, it's Shahnoza. Shahnoza.
Shahnoza. Yeah, spelling it out. It's not as hard as it sounds. All right, Shahnoza. Shahnoza. Did I say that right? Shahnoza. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So
yep.
I'm going to connect to her from you, and then from you to her, and I'm going to ask her permission to scan her. Is it okay if I scan you? I'm talking to your sister. I'm going to look at you energetically. She's saying yes. Interesting. Okay. When I get her on my radar, what I'm seeing is the hologram that is her in my mind's eye, Golnoza, it's like it's cracked right down the middle. Schizophrenia is different personality types. I mean, I don't know that much about it, but I know that much. And so it's cracked. So what I'm doing is I'm watching a healing where stem cell energy is getting poured into that crack. It's not a straight crack down the middle of her energy field or the hologram that's her in my mind's eye. It's kind of jaggedy down the middle. And so stem cell energy, light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it, has a watery consistency to it, and there's a vortex spinning above her head, and that's sealing that. I've never seen that before on a scan. And I've scanned schizophrenic people before, but I've never seen this visual before, so this is really interesting. There's I don't know about Idaho. I'm thinking either probably the Seattle area or the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't know if they have a clinic in Vegas, but Amen Clinics, AMEN, Amen Clinics, you can look them up, Amen Clinics.
Sorry, she's in Uzbekistan. I'm in Idaho.
Okay. All right. And so your family's still there as well?
Correct.
Yeah. Look them up anyways. Look at amenclinics.com, clinics plural, and then look around there, see what's going on. I would maybe even call them or contact them via their website and ask if they can refer you to somebody where she is. Because certainly they're going to have colleagues around the world that can help. So I would look that if nothing else, it's going to give you a place to start, and then you'll be led to other places. So hopefully that healing makes a difference for her. But what a sweet sister you are to call and ask to see.
Do you think that would make a difference if we would do like more of a deep 1 hour session for her?
I can try. I don't know. No guarantees. I mean, I'm happy to do a deep dive. But yeah, get on my calendar, and then we'll see what we can do along those lines. But she got a big old healing tonight too, so hopefully that will help. So check out amenclinics.com.
Thank you.
And see what they can, see where you're led from there. All righty. Thanks so much. Take care.
Will do. Thanks.
You bet. Let's go to Kathy next. Hi, Kathy.
Hi. I'm calling from Saskatchewan.
Hi, Kath from Saskatchewan. I've been there. I've been to Saskatoon. I've been to Saskatoon. It's beautiful.
It is, yes. It is.
Got a question
I am
for
wondering
me?
if you can tell me if there is something in a past life that is contributing to me being very uncomfortable around children, like particularly if I'm the adult in charge.
Okay. Do you have children?
Yes.
Okay. You have children that you've birthed or that you've adopted?
No, that I've birthed. They're grown. I have grandchildren.
Okay. So you're uncomfortable around the grandkids or around kids you just don't know?
Even around the grandkids, some.
Okay. All right. So does Kathy have any past lives that are contributing to her discomfort around, is it small children or all children? Like anybody under 18?
Younger, probably.
Younger. Okay.
Under 10 kind of thing.
Okay. All right. I'm in this endless hallway, Kathy. Very tall ceilings, very narrow walls. On the walls are big square mirrors, and the mirrors represent a different lifetime, each one. When I asked if you have any past lives that are pertaining, the mirrors that correlate with that question come out from the wall as if they're on a hydraulic arm. You have a bunch of them. So I'm asking, show me the one that correlates the most. That's come out. It's on the left. I see myself jogging down this hallway. Some people think this is the Hall of Records. Whatever. It's just a hallway with mirrors in it to me, but I'm walking into the mirror. I get the year is 1537, a long time ago in our life, and I get it's in what was known as Bombay, India. Now I think they call it Mumbai. So Bombay was the old name. All right, what happened with that? I saw a drowning as I was walking in. There's a 4-year-old little boy drowned in it wasn't a pool, it was a body of water, and you couldn't save him. So how does that correlate with Kathy's current life? Because you're afraid they're going to get hurt and you're not going to be able to prevent it and protect them. Does that resonate with you?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, that totally resonates.
Yeah, so past lives, this is how they work. I love doing past lives. They are so much fun. And they're so informative as to why we feel a certain way. When we come in, we have a script and lots of little subscripts of what we want to explore and experience in this lifetime. Our spirit does. And I'll see that script or a semblance of that script, Kathy, run from lifetime to lifetime. And it's just a different perspective of the same script. And so in this lifetime, certainly you're a female, you're living in Canada, you have lots of resources at your fingertips, but it's still scary to you because of you're not cognizant of these fears from past lives, but they're in there. And so I use the analogy of Hamlet. You think about how many times has Hamlet been performed since Shakespeare wrote it in 1602? Who knows? But certainly same script, different perspective each time. And each time we explore something, our spirit expands. And we say, okay, well, I explored that in Bombay. Now in this lifetime, you've had many lifetimes since that. But in this lifetime, I'm going to take precautions to make sure that these kids are as safe as they can be when I'm around them. And so do you find that you get really nervous when they're around water?
I don't know that I've been with them around water.
Okay. I bet you would. I bet you would if you were around a pool or a lake or something. Yeah. So that's where that's coming from. And so once we know that it's coming from a past life, it doesn't have to have any effect on our life, although you're creating out of that fear. So you're creating something to protect the kids. And now you can enjoy them once you know they're protected. So I hope that helps. Great question. Thanks for calling. We're going to take a break. When we come back, looks like we've got Michelle next. We'll see what Michelle has to say. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Be right back. Welcome back. We've got Michelle on the line. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Where are you, girl?
I'm in the Boston area.
Okay, terrific. You got a question for me?
Yeah, I've had migraine headaches for most of my adult life, and unlike most people whose headaches get better after menopause, mine have gotten worse, and I have pretty good medication for when I get the headaches, but I get probably at least 3 per week, and I'm wondering if there's anything I could do in the preventive mode. I'm hesitant to use these monthly injections and these different medications they have now for prevention. I do use CBD for other headaches that aren't migraines, but I can't get up to the higher doses of the CBD that I think I would need for the migraines because I get a bunch of side effects from this CBD, so I just use that for other types of headaches. So I'm wondering if there's anything you might be able to see or recommend that might help me with preventing them.
Oh, my goodness, girl. I had them for all of my life till I turned 40, and I got my gut healthy because I had a yeast overgrowth. So I've got you on my radar while you were talking, just for time's sake. First of all, run, don't walk, go get some bioidentical hormones fast as you can get them. That's going to help tremendously. You're looking like a plant that's in need of estrogen. You know, you may have heard me say earlier that a woman that needs estrogen looks like a wilting plant. I mean, you're in dire need of estrogen. So I shot some energetic estrogen into
Yeah, I hadn't heard that term before. What is it? Bioidentical?
Bioidentical. Yeah, bioidentical. Find a compounding pharmacy in your area, Michelle, like I was mentioning. I think it was Kim from LA. Just do a Google search, put your zip code, put compounding pharmacy. That's a pharmacy that's going to make the prescriptions for you. They're not just going to pour pills from Big Pharma into a smaller bottle. They actually make the prescriptions for you. So that's what you want. You want a compounding pharmacy. Call them and say, who's prescribing bioidenticals through you in our area? And they'll give you a list of doctors, and then you can look it up from there. You are in dire need of some hormones. That'll knock it out. The other thing that I'm seeing is yeast overgrowth, which is leaky gut. And I'm wondering if you've had mold exposure because I'm clearing yeast and mold out of your system. Have you had mold exposure? Did you have a water leak in your home or maybe perhaps where you work?
Well, it's funny. We have something in the bathroom, and I haven't been sure what it is. It doesn't quite look like mold, but the bathroom was all redone and, primed and sanded and everything, and it's coming through again, the paint job. So I don't know if that's probably what it could mold. Be.
It's probably mold. And if you think about it, when you're in the shower, what happens? It gets hot. It's wet. It releases the mold spores into the air. Mold is a big culprit for migraines. And when you have mold, you have leaky gut, you have a yeast overgrowth. So I had talked earlier about the yeast and how to deal with it in the short run. You want to get on bioidentical hormones. You want to get tested for mold. You want to get your gut healthy. So if you email me, Michelle, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com, we'll send you a link for the gut biome test. That'll be a good place to start. You can do it in your home. You don't need a doctor's orders. It's a fancy name for a poop test. You just do it at home. And it's going to tell you what your superfoods are to eat, what are the foods for you to avoid, and then here's everything else. That can help a lot as well, because a lot of this inflammation is coming from your gut.
Probiotic recently.
Yeah, but if you've got yeast overgrowth, it's a waste. It's a waste of time and money. Normally, it's like throwing grass seed on a field of weeds. So when I got my yeast overgrowth handled when I was 40, the migraines went away. And I had them my whole life. I remember being a 3-year-old and having them. And they're atrocious. I had Jonathan without drugs.
Yeah.
Labor pain's better than migraine pain because you get a break every few seconds in contractions. Oh, God bless you. Migraine pain's ridiculous. Go look into the bioidenticals, get your gut healthy. It's going to go away. I would bring somebody in to find out what's going on in your bathroom as well. I'm seeing mold in your system, so you're being exposed to mold. I think it's those 3 things that are causing the migraines. If you get those handled, the migraines are going to go away. I promise you.
Okay.
I am living proof of it.
For the yeast overgrowth, you said what helps with the yeast overgrowth?
Stay low on the food chain. Stay away from fermented foods. Get a hold of some nystatin, Nystatin, nystatin. It's an antifungal that kills yeast on contact. It's a prescription, but tell your doctor you want to try it, and that'll help a lot. Yeah, there's a wellness center. How far are you from Lenox, Mass? Couple hours?
Pretty far.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There's a wellness center there, the Ultra Wellness Center that I send people to in the Boston area at times. But again, call a compounding pharmacy and just talk to them about who's doing the bioidenticals, and there's a good chance they're doing functional medicine too, and they'll be able to help you clear the yeast and the mold. Most doctors are not versed in that, Michelle, so you talk to them about that and they're just going to glaze over. Yeah. They don't know.
Yeah, well, they just suggest those migraine medications, basically.
Yeah. So you want to get to the root cause, and then they're going to go away. I promise. I am living proof of it. So I hope that helps. Good luck with all of that. You bet.
A lot.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All righty, everybody. That's it for this week. To the callers that I didn't get on, please call back next week. Let me know that you called. I'll do my best to get you on. To all of you that are listening, thank you so much for joining us. And I hope you have a terrific weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all of you moms and grandmoms out there. And sending you lots of love. Mwah, from Sweet Home, Alabama. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.